Hello and a very warm welcome once again to BrookesTV. I'm Samuel Swinnerton.
And I'm Beth Evans. Coming up in this week's episode, the Brookes Student Union has moved to the new building on Wheatley Campus.
A year on since it burned down, we take a look at the newly opened Cycle King.
And local residents, both young and old, take part in a run for sports relief.
But first, let's take a look at natural resources. Abingdon Hydro has been granted the go-ahead to use the Thames River to generate power, and Archimedes screw is to be put in place to encourage water flow in the area.
Now, for those of you who, like me, don't know what on earth an Archimedes screw is, Adam French went to investigate.
For years, this water has been flowing with no attempt to use the natural resource for power. However, after plans were set, the construction of hydropower around Oxford will begin. Winter weather has caused delays in the production, but hopes are high for a more economic future. This is one of the new hydropower resources being built around Oxford. With new and old technology combined, the Thames water flow can now be used to power hundreds of homes in the local community. Abingdon Hydro is building a £1 million project next to the Wear in Abingdon, Oxford. It will be using large screws to generate electricity using the water flow of the Thames River to power many homes in the local area. We spoke to Richard Riggs, a founder of the project, to explain further.
Most methods are damaging to fish, but this particular one, Archimedes screw, is not. Water flows down a channel. As it goes, it causes the screw to turn, which turns the generator, and fish just float down through these veins. In our case, these things are big. In our case, it'll be over 3 meters diameter, 2 of them. So we are talking about something big and imposing.
After being granted the go-ahead and plans being set, Abingdon Hydro will soon be starting the construction of its natural resource electricity generator.
The planning permission, for example, we just went round with clipboards asking, do you think we should get planning permission? And the overwhelming majority say yes. You wouldn't find many planning applications where people all want it to happen.
The money will be raised by selling shares of the company to the locals in Abingdon, but does the community think hydropower will benefit them?
Yeah, I think so. You know, at the end of the day, it's a good project. Obviously, there's no pollution from that side of things. It's just obviously making sure that it doesn't impact too much on the environment and people in the nearby area.
I think it will benefit the community from an economic point of view, yes. It's just cosmetically what it's going to look like. It's an area of very beautiful surroundings. I mean, is it going to have an impact on that?
It should become an attraction. We're in a public park. Lots of people come here. It'll be something for them to come down, walk down to and look at. And, something which looks attractive, so it becomes an enhancement to the town.
For BrookesTV, I'm Adam French.
Whilst Abingdon Hydro is finalising plans for a new energy source, an old one's time seems to have come.
The iconic towers on the landscape of Oxford's countryside will soon be gone, as Didcot power station is set to be demolished next year. Adam Frost has this report.
Situated just outside Didcot in the parish of Sutton Courtenay. It is owned by npower, and for over 40 years it has been operating as part of the national grid. However, the site opted out of the Large Combustion Plant Directive in 2008, which was a European Union directive set up to limit combustion station emissions. Legally, this means it was closed by the 31st of December 2015, with the station set to be demolished by 2016. Many local residents welcome the deconstruction, which is to be carried out by Birmingham-based demolition contractors Coleman & Company over the next 2 years.
I think it's brilliant because lots of times I've been coming back to Oxford and I've seen a plume of vapour coming from the Didcot power station and going to where I live in Oxford, which is near Rose Hill, Iffley area. It has affected our climate. There is a certain amount of pollution. I know they've done things about it. It's also, I feel, a monstrosity, and it's time we went into renewables.
For the residents of Sutton Courtenay, The demolition will mean a welcome relief from both CO2 and noise pollution. But there are those who will be sad to see the iconic cooling towers go.
It's an iconic site to me. You know, I mean, I don't know what their plans are, presumably housing or something, which is usually the way. Other than that, it's just a site that I've always seen. I mean, I would miss it.
Since 1968, this view has dominated the Oxfordshire countryside. But by 2015, the power station will be gone, and its 43-year life will come to an end. Adam Frost, BrookesTV.
From a power station demolition to new beginnings, Beth, did you know that the Brookes Union has just moved to its brand spanking new premises in the John Henry Brookes building?
Yes, I did actually, but what I don't know is what are they going to do with all that old space?
Well, that's precisely what Jimmy Lamb went down to investigate. Let's see what he has to report.
Student unions around different universities are generally the first thing students will want to go to relax or socialise with their friends. The John Henry Brookes building includes a small number of facilities that is currently open for service. The Brookes Union has recently moved into the new building early this month, where Joel Holmes, Union's president, has been busy preparing the space that's provided for them.
I think it's a fantastic space, and I think it's been really well received. It's going to revolutionise kind of how people view the university and the buzz people have got from it. I mean, not just the opening party and the silent disco and things like that are in, but people are actually using it for working all over the forum. It's always busy, no matter what time of night I finish working. It's fantastic space, and I mean, about 30% of it still isn't open yet. I mean, our bar space, this space is in kind of semi-use. The terrace, once it all gets open, it's going to completely change how people view the campus.
Majority of the students at Brookes should be studying in Gypsy Lane campus. Since the union has moved over to the JHB building, you would expect that they would know about the relocation.
Yeah, I do. I think it's over there, down the corridor.
I think it's a good place. It's a good place for people to come if they maybe don't know that many people at the start.
Well, a lot of students study in the same building, so as you have all the students here, they'll be more familiar with the building and they'll come to the student union more often.
While students are slowly adapting to the new surroundings, the Helen Kennedy Centre now hides in the shadow of the JHB. What does this mean for the future of the old student union?
The Helena Kennedy Centre is in use up until June, so our societies are still going to have use of that space. But after that, we're not too sure. The probability is it's going to be mothballed, which means it's going to be closed down and locked up so that there's no additional charges on it. As part of the university's wider estate strategy, as far as 10 years away, it might get demolished and a new site put there, whether that's accommodation or bringing one of the other campuses down to Headington.
The fate of the Helen Kennedy is unsure at this stage. Will it turn out to be just the same as Wheatley Tower? However, the union is pleased with the new space that is provided for them. Jimmy Lamb, BrookesTV.
This is the week the town comes to life, as it does every year, with the Oxford Literary Festival. People from all over the globe make their way to the city centre to meet their favourite authors.
That's right, and I was very jealous of our reporter Ed Stanton as we sent him to the beautiful Christchurch College to read up on the event.
Every year, Christchurch College plays host to the Oxford Literary Festival. Budding young writers and lovers of literature travel great distances to be a part of this prestigious event in order to meet some of the world's most inspiring authors. Boasting over 500 speakers from more than 20 different countries, and with such big names as Orhan Pamuk and Jeremy Paxman, it's no wonder that people are willing to travel the distance. We spoke to Graham Benson, Deputy Chairman of the event, to find out more.
The fact that you're here in this amazingly beautiful, important academic and historic city, surrounded by these wonderful buildings, many of which we take full advantage of, and the sort of atmosphere of learning and applying oneself to books is obviously a natural setting for a literary festival. I think people love coming here, particularly the writers we invite. We do get a cream of talent from around the globe, but most specifically from the United Kingdom, our own homegrown writers. I think the festival itself has got a nice, almost laid-back by no means casual, but relaxed atmosphere. People always say to me how enjoyable they found coming here and talking about their writing and their books.
The festival runs for over a week every March and attracts hundreds of visitors. We spoke to a couple of people attending the event to find out what makes it special for them.
This is the third time I've come in 4 years. A friend of mine who lives in Paris said, "Oh, I go to a thing once or twice that I think you'd enjoy. Why don't we rendezvous there?" And we did 3 or 4 years ago, and I just fell in love with it. It's very stimulating, and some things I picked because I'm interested in them, and some lectures I picked because I don't know anything at all about them. I particularly remember Patrick Barkham's talk on butterfly isles. I loved that. I had no thoughts about butterflies before I saw that. I bought that book, I've given it to many friends, loved it myself. So it's a very stimulating atmosphere.
Well, it brings you face to face with experts in their own field. It brings you face to face with good writers, often very good speakers. You're able to meet them, you're able to ask them questions, and also very often you're actually able to ask them, how did you write this book? What was it like writing that book? What did you learn when you write it? Why did you take that particular angle? That's why you can actually learn so much more about a book or an author by coming to a festival. You learn things which you would never read, which you would never know if you just read the book.
The festival runs until the end of the week, so if you fancy journeying into the world of literature, head down to Christchurch College. My name is Edward Stanton for BrookesTV News.
And if you're thinking about popping down to the festival, you may as well do so on your bike.
Speaking of bikes, Beth, how much do you know about cycling?
I'm a little bit too accident prone to go cycling, but my housemate is a keen cyclist.
Oh, well, cycling in Oxford is a hot topic at the moment. After the break, we'll be joined by Simon Hunt, the chairman of Cyclox, to tell us about their vision for Oxford.
Also to come, David Holmes investigates calls for a new varsity cycle path linking Oxford and Cambridge.
And Lewis Lynn compares the new campus in Headington to Wheatley. Welcome back. I'm joined now by Simon Hunt, who is here to tell us about Cyclox. Simon, very nice to meet you.
Hello, Sam.
Can you give us a brief overview of what Cyclox is and what you do?
Cyclox is a campaign group, advocacy group. The voice of cycling in Oxford is what we call ourselves. So we try to push for improvements in cycling. Particularly we want to speak for the would-be cyclists, those people who would feel they'd like to cycle but they're a bit afraid or not quite there. That's the best person we want to help.
That's brilliant. I understand you guys are involved in a project called Cyclotopia at the moment.
That's it, yes.
What's Cyclotopia about?
Well, we've joined with Sustrans and CTC, I don't know if you've heard of them, cycling groups, and to think about a longer-term vision of where Oxford needs to be in terms of cycle provision, say 20 years from now, or maybe sooner, let's hope. A cycling vision for Oxford, if you like. Cyclotopia, it's a plan, it's based on evidence about how beneficial cycling is, and it sets out ways in which the county council, who've got the responsibility, should proceed to go and implement it.
So that's the long-term goal for Cyclotopia. What are the short-term sort of things we're trying to achieve?
Well, you can always get down to sort of fixing the potholes and all the things that people notice every day. Those are very important things in terms of, and they do need to be fixed, but there are things like the routes. Probably the most important two things. Firstly, the networks in Oxford need to be joined up, so you don't have cycle lanes that just stop and leave you in the lurch. And secondly, there are some real problem areas. Botley Road Railway Bridge is an absolutely classic example where people feel extremely scared about going through it for understandable reasons, and that needs to be sorted. Real opportunity, because Network Rail is going to be redeveloping the station, so it's time that they got involved.
Fantastic. What kind of timescale are we looking at for these improvements?
Well, for something like the railway bridge, they're thinking about it fairly hard at the moment. They've got to fit in with the electrification. I think that's due to be done in 6 years from now, something like that. For fixing the network, that could be relatively cheap, and if there was the political will, a review of that could be done within a year and not fantastically expensive, does need some money. Give it 18 months, let's say.
Brilliant. I understand you have a jingle for us, Simon.
I want you to appreciate how important cycling is, how good it is, sing it to your friends and your kids. Yes, and the jingle goes like this. Pedal your bike and jump the jams. 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 Pedal your bike and jump the jams.
Pedal your bike and jump the jams.
You got it.
Brilliant. Simon, thank you very much. Staying with cycling now, David Holmes rode out to investigate a cycle path which may benefit many cycle users in the near future.
Calls for a 77-mile cycle superhighway between Oxford to Cambridge have been recently backed by local MPs from the two cities. A Cambridge City MP has called for an investigation to be launched into the possibilities of linking the two cities for cycle users, with Oxfordshire County Council members also voicing their support for the idea. I met with Oxfordshire County Councillor Jean Fuchs to discuss her opinions on this matter.
It depends how much it costs, obviously. I mean, we've got a lot of cycling things we would like to have putting in place in Oxford. Between Farmore and Oxford, we've been lobbying for a long time because it's a very dangerous main road and it was a cycle path. There's land for it, it's just a question of the county putting a little bit more money in than they're currently prepared. I hope people would give it a try. There will obviously be a lot more people travelling by train between Oxford and Cambridge. Very good news that that line is now firmly on the drawing board to be reopened. We've got it as far as Bedford, we need to take it to Cambridge. But some cycling part of the way, fine, and let's see if it encourages people.
The move comes after London Mayor Boris Johnson recently stated that there should be a 120-mile cycle superhighway between the capital and Birmingham.
I think that across the UK, see if you can have this kind of passes, beautiful, wonderful for Brazilian, for example.
Last year, the government launched a nationwide drive to promote cycling in cities and national parks across England. Following this, a total of £77 million was pledged towards improving cycling routes in Oxford, Cambridge and 6 other cities.
I don't think it's a very good investment. We're having a lot of tax-funded money being spent on things that don't really need to be spent on. I don't really think many people use it either. I don't think I'd use it, so I don't see the point.
With the Varsity Railway line recently given approval to be reopened, a new cycle path may soon follow. I'm David Holmes, reporting for BrookesTV News.
Now, next Monday marks 1 year since a fire destroyed Cycle King on Cowley Road. Adam French reports.
I'm here at the newly opened Cycle King store on Cowley Road, where business is better than ever. Boasting a huge amount of accessories, parts and of course the bikes themselves, this is the company's flagship store and has made a welcome return to the community. The shop suffered a devastating fire almost exactly a year ago, leaving nearly 1,600 bikes damaged beyond repair, including all of their spares stock. Consequently, the company had to close this location down and move to a temporary smaller store down the road. We spoke with the managing director to see how the business had been affected.
The business has obviously suffered because it's our flagship store. It's our highest turnover store within the group. Cycle King's been in Oxford about 30 years. Family cycle shops, family owned, and we sell cycles for the family. We've got 27 outlets around the country.
The shop reopened on the 8th of March, and the company hopes that business will pick up where it left off.
Well, obviously, we're very pleased to be back in our newly refurbished premises. The range we've had in our temporary shop has been very limited, so we're pleased, as you can see. So we're really pleased to be back.
The overall cost of the blaze and loss of stock was well in excess of £1 million. But what does the public think of the new shop?
When I saw this shop, so it looks like you have a lot of kinds of bicycles.
It looks really nice. It's slightly different from what it was before. I came in the store previously a few years ago, and it looks really nice and fresh. And I think it could do with the overhaul that I had, but just unfortunately under the circumstances in which I had to have it done.
For BrookesTV, I'm Adam French.
The new John Henry Brookes building in Headington has had a lot of positive comments. But But what did the students think about Wheatley Campus? Lewis Lynn reports.
Some of the students from Oxford Brookes University are enjoying the brand new John Henry Brookes building. It is known as the evolution of the old Abingdon Hill campus, with all high technology equipment, modern design, and lots of new open space and facilities. However, on the other end of Oxford, some Brookes students are still using the out-of-date facilities in Wheatley Campus. To be fair, refurbishing could take a long time, but about the social life here in Wheatley, where it's 7 miles approximately away from town, with only 2 bus lines run from Wheatley to town, it could take a long journey if students live here or just often lectures to be back in town.
Wheatley Campus is good for the lecture rooms, and they've got made good lecture rooms, but as far as socializing or studying here, it's quite a bit depressing because it's out of the city, it's far away from the city, and you don't really find many people around here in Wheatley, and it would be better if it was somewhere around in the city, or this campus is a bit depressing. Yeah.
Wheatley Campus has some facilities that are useful, the canteen and the Costa Cafe that you have here too, but it doesn't offer anything like things like pool table, darts, little sociable things that you can just relax with in between your courseworks. So I think there could be a lot more done there to help, for people's break time.
To be honest, I'm not really a big fan of being at the Wheatley campus. It's not very nice. It's a little bit depressing to look at. It's a long way out from town and kind of like the central Oxford. So the travelling is not my favourite.
Although the Abingdon Hill campus have had its upgrade, there is no actual plan of when and what will be improving the Wheatley campus from Brookes yet. However, a consultation to the public of what can be improved at the Wheatley campus have been carried out back in 2012. Also, there are rumours that Wheatley campus will be sold and move the departments to Harcourt Hill campus. We shall be patient and wait for the plan to unveil. I'm Lewis Lynn, BrookesTV News.
I hope they do something with this campus. It really is grim. Now, Sam, do you think you could run 6 miles for charity?
I would give it a go, but I've got to admit, I would probably collapse.
Well, many local people tried it out for themselves this weekend. Jim Demharter reports.
On the 21st to 23rd March, Sport Relief 2014 once again had many events all over the UK. One of them being held in Oxford at Cotslow Park. Hundreds of people were to be expected who paid an entry fee, which was a donation to the charity. All the money raised by the public will help people living unimaginable tough lives right here, across the rest of the UK and in some of the world's poorest countries.
I'm here with the Manor Hospital, Nuffield Health in Headington, and what we're doing is we're supporting Sports Relief on behalf of Sainsbury's as well, and we're also doing something for our 10-year anniversary that we've been open for 10 years in Headington now, and throughout the year we're going to be doing different events to raise money for Rosie, the respite in children.
Everyone was caught by surprise when Prime Minister David Cameron suddenly showed up and decided to participate with his family to run the Oxford Mile. The typical British weather once again tested the spirits of the attendees, so it was very important to warm up and stretch, which was combined with a dance routine which everyone seemingly enjoyed a lot.
It was I did this run 2 years ago in Norwich and I really enjoyed it, and so I tagged her and made her come with me. Pretty much. It was good fun, it was tiring.
There's a hill at the end which is just awful, so like 6 times you had to run up a hill.
And on the last lap there was a nice strong wind with a bit of hail.
Yeah, that was fun.
So, but we did it.
Yay!
It's awkward more than heavy. It's not as heavy as it used to be years ago, but it's quite it's just awkward to run in. So with a helmet and everything, it's all designed to keep the heat out and the heat in. So, but yeah, it was good fun. It's good fun.
This year's Sport Relief was a huge success, breaking the previous on-the-night record of £50.4 million in 2012. Jim Demharter, BrookesTV.
That's it for this week's show. You can view all of our previous episodes online at our YouTube channel.
Or to get in contact with us, contact BrookesTV at brookes.ac.uk.
Thank you for watching. See you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.